Okay, 3, 2, 1, it's jam.
What is up guys, G here, back with another video. I just want to do a recap on yesterday's live stream where we went over a few different stocks. We also did use the Unusual Whales platform, and that helped us give an idea of which direction the stock options flow was going in. I just signed up for the Unusual Whales platform, so I am still learning to construct a good strategy for us, but I am excited to add this tool to help us with our trades down the road. If you guys want to check them out, check out the link in the description. You guys can actually sign up for free, and then later if you decide, you can upgrade to get more features. As far as today's video though, I'm just going to go over 3 different stocks that we talked about and show you guys what I'm looking at going into this week, what to watch for, and how I'll be playing them. So make sure to watch through the entire video for all of that. But before we start, do take a second to drop a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you guys would like to see more videos like this, and hopefully I see you guys in the next live stream. So the first one that I want you guys to track and follow this week is going to be Alibaba. It is up almost 1.3% for the day. Surprisingly how bearish the market was on Friday. The Chinese stocks actually held their own, and this one's actually up a little after hours as well. So Alibaba, Neo, and Lee were actually all green, I believe. So that is something going into next week that I would watch all the Chinese stocks. So just kind of moving over to the Unusual Whales platform, and I can actually make a more educational video on this if this is something you guys would be interested in. But for the purposes of time and everything, I'm just going to explain quickly what I'm doing here. So Unusual Whales allows you to create your own filters, and I actually set mine to 60,000. So anything underneath 60,000 will not come in. And so this is a good way to kind of track the bigger flows. And I also did 35 days till expiration. So these are going to be contracts that expire within 35 days. So that's going to filter out a lot of the noise. And so that's going to give us price movement within a closer window. So hopefully expected moves within 35 days. And so I'm going to go ahead and filter all this noise and just get the Alibaba contracts. And so one of the reasons that I was bullish for this is because towards the end of the day, we did get tons of bullish activity come in. So we have a few 250,000 order here, 197. All these were bullish. As you can see, they were bought on the ask side. And so they were buying calls that expire next week. All of these are actually for April 8th. So that is actually this coming week. Initially, we did get tons of bearish move, but towards the end, there's a lot of bullishness that came through. So this was the main reason that I started looking into this one. And then I just kind of used some of this flow here, and then we'll kind of shift over to the chart and see if that kind of correlates with some of these option plays. But before we go over to that, I do want to expand on these 120s for this week, and you can actually just click here with the Unusual Whales platform. And if you take a look at the open interest and volume for the first day of April, you can see the open interest and volume is going to increase huge. So this will be something that I'll be tracking going into Monday. Going into the last day of March, you can see there was only about 3.3 thousand volume, and then as far as April 1st, that one basically 10x in volume. So this is another indicator that kind of helped me get an idea of there is some expected move soon, especially since these contracts do expire on the 8th. And that was one of the indicators that kind of gave me an idea that I needed to kind of look at the chart. Now, before we actually do go over to the chart, I want to show you guys one other tab that I've actually found very useful, and that is the InnoTrade Analyst. You can basically search any stock that you want in here, but they have this column here, this category where it's called most active chains. If you take a look, the most active one is actually the 120s that we were just taking a look at. And then you can also take a look at these, but these are actually already expired. These were for the 401s, 2022s. So these are already past, expired on Friday. So the only other valid one is actually the 408s that are coming up for this week, and that's the 125 calls. So you can actually click here and expand on that chain. Now this is going to show us all the trading activity, all the flow activity that came in for this specific call. And we're going to go ahead and filter out just a little bit more. We're not going to go quite as high as like 60, just so we can get a more broad view of what's actually going on, but still filter out some of the smaller retail orders. And so 25 I think is a good starting point. And you can see some of the orders, anything above 25 is going to come through. So we have that 250k order that we were talking about, and then the other ones are about 25, 75k. And we also did have a small few bearish ones, but you can see the bullishness does outweigh the bearishness. Another cool indicator that you can take a look at is the little table that's up here. This kind of gives you an idea of the put to call ratio, and you can also take a look at some of the put to call premium. But yeah, the overall flow for the 120s expiring this coming week do seem to be a lot more bullish, especially like we looked at the volume coming in just a few days ago. It was only like at 3,000, and we basically did like a 10x. So we're going to shift back over to the most active chains again, and then we're also going to go ahead and just expand the 408s just to get an idea. Now these might be a lot more risky just because it's another $5 jump, but I still do just want to get an idea of what's going on here. And we'll do the same thing. We'll kind of filter out some of the smaller orders that are coming in. Not many orders came in for the 125s. These are going to be, like I said, a little bit more risky because that would be like a $15 move. Pretty good size order did come in on Friday, and then towards the end, around 11 o'clock, the only big order that came in was another bullish one. But again, these are just indicators to start giving us an idea of where the money could be headed. We also always got to confirm it with the chart and see if all that kind of lines up and correlates. Alright guys, so just shifting over to the chart, this is going to be Alibaba on the daily. You can see basically an overall picture. We have been kind of on a downtrend here, been trying to break through this descending resistance here. We did sell off at this point, but we are now trying to get back through above that. And just clearing some of that, I'm going to zoom in to just get a better idea of where we're at. So you can see we actually are in this somewhat of a channel here. We're trying to isolate here. But if we can break through 118, then I would be very bullish. But actually also do watch the 110 level, because if we break through that, we could probably sell off to about $100, just because that is going to be a psychological level. But we could actually also come down and fill this gap down here, which is going to be around $80. So that'd be something to watch for as well. What I do like is on the OBV daily, it does look like we are also trying to make higher highs. And actually the last time we were actually doing this was back here, and that's going to be right at this level here, but obviously we failed to break through. So the overall picture is we do have this trend, which I think we will retest as we've done that historically. And just clearing some of that out, if we do break through some of this resistance here and also the downtrend resistance, we could probably come back up to this level here and retest these highs here. So that is what it's looking like on the OBV daily. And so just clearing some of that out and going to the 1 hour just to get a better idea of where we're going. I do have another descending resistance here, and our support is still about 110. So it does look like we are consolidating around here. So could be some time before we actually get a breakout, but actually the OBV is showing us differently. That is telling us that actually our move or breakout or breakdown could be a lot sooner than expected. So our descending resistance is here, and then our support is around this level here. And so you can see we've kind of been consolidating, and it's getting very close to breaking up or breaking down. And this is going to be on the 1 hour. So I do expect us to start breaking out by Tuesday. So that's going to either come out on the top, or it could either break back down, and our next support will come down at this level here. So clearing some of those drawings out of the way, that is what I'm seeing on BABA. I am expecting a move just based off the OBV, but I do expect a move again just because we also kind of confirmed that using the Unusual Whales platform. As you can see, there were some big orders coming in, and so I would expect a move sometime this week, like I said. But I'll say definitely watch the 118 and also the 110. That is going to help indicate whether we break up or break down. So definitely check those out. If we do end up breaking the 118, I do expect us to run to about 140, possibly even move up to the gap, which is up here around the $150 level. So definitely look out for these levels, and again definitely watch the 110, because if we end up breaking, probably end up coming down to about $95 or $100, and then possibly even fill this gap down below. So that's going to be what I'm watching. I'm also just going to be following the flow through the Unusual Whales platform to kind of confirm these moves before I enter a position. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Are you guys going to be playing BABA on the upside or to the downside? I would love to hear your thoughts. The next play that I'm going to be interested in watching this week is going to be Snapchat. So as far as, like I said, the SPY did struggle to stay green. This one actually was up almost 4% for the day, and that is actually not the high of the day. So we were near 38, almost $39. So I actually did get a position for this one. Obviously after hours we really didn't do much, but I do expect a continuation going into next week. And so we'll actually just go ahead and start with the intraday analysis. I just got Snapchat pulled up here, and the most active one was this put for 411. So obviously they were trying hard to close it underneath 37, but the most interesting ones are going to be the 408s and the 414s. Now, before we do expand on some of these chains, I do want to share with you guys that the Unusual Whales does send free alerts. There are premium alerts as well, but you can actually sign up for free. And I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys. So they actually alerted Snapchat calls, and so this is actually one of the reasons I actually started looking into the chains. So let's go ahead and shift back over to our first. This is our filters with the 60,000. And another reason that I pulled up Snapchat was because I saw this order come in, and as soon as it pulls up, I'll be able to show you guys. So there was a floor order come in, bullish side. It was 278k, and if we can just wait for the thing. So trade was buy to order or sell to order. So that's usually a good indicator that this position was open. And then since it was on the bullish side, so we can most likely assume that these calls were bought. And so 1,000 calls were bought. These are the ones for 429, and they're actually for the $40 strike. So I don't actually remember the ones that I ended up getting, but I'm going to try to swing those and just get some profit. And another second thing that actually backed up some of the big moves was yesterday, or should I say on Thursday, the day before Snapchat started running up huge. There was a 1.39 million order that came in bullish. So I didn't actually have Unusual Whales at that point, so I actually missed this play. But if I would have seen something come in like this with 8,000 contracts being purchased, then I probably would have made some money on Friday. But I just started using Unusual Whales, so this is just something that I missed out on. So towards 12 o'clock, they ended up getting these contracts, and obviously it came in as bullish. And then you can see that on Friday, this thing ran up huge. So that is just a little thing that I also took note of. And so once another big order came in that's bullish, that's basically telling me that there could be some continuation going into Monday, possibly Tuesday. And then now we're going to go ahead and take a look at the 429.40 calls. So there is still a little bit more time on these, but you can also see the open interest and the volume also dramatically spiked. So the volume for just the previous days was in the hundreds again. On Thursday, about 6 volume, not hardly any volume, and then a huge move in volume going into Friday. So we're actually also going to take a look at that going into Monday. We can actually pull up the platform before market opens, and we'll get a good idea of how many contracts are being held overnight. And so obviously you can kind of take your time and spend hours just going through all these chains, getting an idea, but I'm only covering those two because these are the bigger price orders. So that 1.3 million and then the 278k. So let's go ahead and shift over to the chart, because some of this does need to correlate to the chart, and if all that kind of lines up, then that could be a good indicator that you can open that position. Let's go ahead and shift over to the 1 hour, because I did draw a nice ascending channel here for us. So you can clearly see we've been kind of respecting this channel. So these upside resistance and this upside support here. Clearing some of that out of the way, you can see we do have some more upside, probably back up to this monthly level, and that's going to kind of be close to about $40. But I do kind of want to confirm some more of that bullishness with the OBV. So we can go ahead and take a look at this. Again, this is on the 1 hour. You can see we've been on a downtrend, guys, downtrend here all the way. But if you notice, we've actually already broken through that resistance. So that is a great indicator, especially because we had a strong resistance around here. So if you take a look, we kind of tried to break through once. We failed, had to come back through. This is another instance where we failed to break through, another instance to break through. So if history kind of repeats itself, you can see once we break through, we have a nice move up. This one is a bit different, but we are past the resistance here and our support. So long term, I am bullish. I would say if we take a look at our next resistance, it's probably going to come around this level here. So I do think that's going to be our next big resistance there. You can see kind of historically that is where we've had trouble or some consolidation. So we've had consolidation there, and historically back here, this was a nice support consolidation. So this is probably going to be our next target as far as the upside. And if we kind of just move back over to our chart, we can kind of take an idea. So again, I think our $40, maybe $42 is going to be our first target. And then after that, we could possibly get even up to about $45, $46. All right, guys, so just clearing some of that out and now moving over to their daily time frame. One of the most bullish indicators for me personally was this double bottom here. So you can see we broke down once and then we also broke down again, but this is a strong bounce off this level. So now it looks like we're back on an uptrend. And again, just clearing some of that out of the way, but we are in this channel, like I said, so I'm expecting a move back up to at least $40, retest that monthly level. If we do break through that, Like I said, I'm probably expecting a huge move back up to about $45, $44, somewhere around this range. And just to kind of confirm that again, we're going to do the same thing on the OBV, this time on the daily. You can see we've had some struggle with this descending resistance. You can see we actually broke through this time, and we are clearly in an uptrend again. So historically, we haven't had any higher highs, but just clearing some of that, you can see we have a higher high there, a higher high there. So in my opinion, we could do something like this and kind of work our way back up to this level right here. If we do end up breaking that, which is actually a nice resistance at this point, we'll probably get through back all the way up to this level that's going to be up here. My opinions, but seeing some of the whale inflow, like I said, from the Unusual Whales platform, is kind of giving me some confirmation in some of my TA. So that is actually what I'm seeing on the chart for Snapchat. Again, a strong bounce off this as a double bottom, so eventually we could see this level again. Especially if the indexes do work out and hold and stay green, we could see some massive moves coming. And again, that's kind of being confirmed and backed by some of the moves that we've been seeing on the Unusual Whales order flow. So let me know what you guys are thinking about this one. Obviously, I'm bullish. I actually already got some calls, so hopefully those do work out for us, but I'm not a financial advisor, so you guys definitely need to do your own research again. All right, guys, I got one more play for you guys. This is going to be TLRY. This is almost down 4% for the day. I do see some more downside, guys. I'm not going to spend too much time on Unusual Whales, but basically I've already pulled up TLRY, $60,000 here. You can see most of the inflow coming in the last few days has been bearish, especially this one right here, the 401, which is on Friday. This was actually towards the end of the day, so 1349. So I would say about an hour before close, this huge order came in of 159K. And this is for a 2-week expiration. So on the 14th, a $7 put came in. I'm just going to show you quickly the volume increase on this one. So obviously there is about 4,000, and again, a huge volume spike there. But again, you could spend hours in this platform and just learn a lot about what the flow is doing. The other two that I would just take a look at on your free time would be the 325 calls. So they were selling in order about 250 and also the 135s. So those are some of the bigger ones, as well as the 330. So just to keep the video short, I'll let you guys take a look at that on your free time. So definitely check out the link in the description, and you guys can spend some time looking at some of these order flows. Alright guys, so taking a look at TLRY. TLRY is going to report earnings this Wednesday, I believe, and with most of the legalization bill in the background, I don't expect too many short-term catalysts coming out, so I think a lot of people will probably end up selling out since some of the hype could possibly die. But just taking a look at the 1 hour here, the first thing I did notice, we do have the descending resistance here, but I also did notice that there's potential for a head and shoulders pattern here. So we got the shoulder here, the head, and then we have a second shoulder forming here. And so usually we do have a neckline to go with that. And I would say that probably around 775. Usually when something breaks through in a head and shoulders pattern, we do end up breaking through and then retesting this. So that is, I think, why the OBV is still showing a little bit of bullishness. Just clearing some of that out of the way, you can see that the chart is in a downtrend, but the OBV seems to be holding its level here. So I do expect maybe a retest again, like I said there. But after that, maybe retesting the OBV at this level, and then we could probably break down again. We also do have a potential gap fill at this level here, which is going to be around $7. So that is something to definitely keep in mind as well. So that kind of also does confirm the bearishness with this head and shoulders pattern, as well as all the info that we got using the Unusual Whales. So some of this kind of all backs the bearishness that I see coming into this week. So I'll be looking for the potential gap fill here, and also be taking a look at the OBV to see if this potentially breaks down into 1 hour. So just wrapping up the chart analysis on TLRY. This is on the daily here, and the main thing to look at is we do have that gap fill, so continuation downward to that. We do have nice support around that level as well, like I said here. We got the consolidation there, and then some of that correlates to our OBV. So if we do end up breaking through, so that would kind of relate to the support here at 7, then we would have a nice drop all the way down to this level, which will probably correlate to about almost $6. So that is kind of what I see in the chart. Obviously, if we do break this descending resistance and we fail to do that head and shoulders pattern, then it could be bullish. But as far as the guidance and everything related to the earnings, I do expect some downside just because I don't expect any more catalyst in the short term. But you guys let me know what you guys will be playing for TLRY. Again, we did see some bearishness on the options flow from Unusual Whales, and the chart kind of correlates to some of that stuff that I'm seeing. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Would love to see how you guys are going to play TLRY this week. So guys, that's gonna about wrap up today's video. I do want to run back over to unusual whales alerts because there actually was an alert towards the end of the day. You can see this was at 14:39 and it was actually a pretty big order, so obviously it's on the bearish side. It was 29,000 contracts that was traded, so it's the $8 calls, and so it looks like they sold these to, I guess, other people expecting the earnings move, but they did have a huge total premium here, like I said. So that's another thing that kind of gave me the direction of where TLRY could go in this coming week. So this is going to be one of the big plays that I'll be looking at, and I think when I was looking at the options chain, some of the premiums were very cheap, so it could be a great opportunity, but we'll kind of see how that plays out. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Definitely check out all the links in the description below. We do have a free Discord as well. I'm trying to grow some community there. So if you guys are interested in that, I'll put that in the description. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys found value. If you did, make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. See you guys in the next video. And as always, keep moving forward.